Well, the CDC says the number of people being monitored for hantavirus in the U.S. has grown to 41. The group includes the 18 cruise ship passengers being cared for in Nebraska and Georgia, and 7 passengers who left the ship before that outbreak was declared. Now, we've learned 16 of the people being monitored may have been exposed during flights with one symptomatic passenger. World health officials continue to say, though, that the risk to the general public remains low.
Based on the whole genome sequencing that is available to us, suggests that there are no indications that this virus is acting any different from the known virus circulating in some regions of the world.
In Nebraska, Dr. Stephen Cornfield, who helped take care of sick patients on the cruise ship, has been transferred from biocontainment to quarantine. The CDC says there are no confirmed U.S. cases at this point, and none of the passengers in quarantine are symptomatic. Here now to talk more about the impact this is having on travel and the cruise industry is CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg. Peter, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
And good morning to you.
All right, just days after the hantavirus outbreak, another cruise ship has been hit with a norovirus outbreak. It's a lot more common and contagious than the hantavirus. But what do we know about that situation right now?
Well, let's go back and look at some of the numbers and go back about 6 years, back to COVID in 2020. You may remember that when that outbreak happened, the Centers for Disease Control issued an all-stop order, and every cruise line had to stop cruising until they could comply with about 74 new protocols about hygiene, sanitation, ventilation, and food preparation. And that took about 18 months, and all the cruise lines have done that. And that also tended to mitigate the incidence of what you just mentioned of the norovirus, which is a more standard type of gastrointestinal outbreak, which is more uncomfortable than it is dangerous. It may require you to have an extended phone conversation with a porcelain telephone, if you know what I mean. But more than that, the good news is, at least for the moment, the monitoring systems are working. This seems to be an isolated incident on board that one particular cruise ship. It's a virus that has a different spread, it has a different contacting, and as a result, health officials are telling me they're less concerned about this than they were, of course, about COVID.
Yeah, and the hantavirus was certainly more serious sounding as well because of what happened on that cruise ship. How do you see these stories, both of the stories really, impacting the cruise industry as a whole?
Well, so far, there's been no knee-jerk reaction in terms of a drop-off in bookings. They monitor that carefully as well for economic reasons. And we have no outbreaks anywhere in the U.S., the Caribbean, or in the South Pacific, or even in the Mediterranean. This happened in the Atlantic, and in the South Atlantic, to be precise. So for the moment, no immediate, drop in bookings. That doesn't mean it won't happen, but right now, in terms of no spread, as long as that continues, I think this may turn into a mitigated event.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what everyone is hoping for sure. Peter, I know that we've talked to you a lot about travel and the impact by the Iran war, but you wrote on your site about kind of a surprising opportunity for people who have frequent flyer miles to burn. So what did you find?
Well, beware the law of unintended consequences. We've seen a double-digit drop in foreign travel to the United States, and now a double-digit drop in travel from the United States overseas. And as a result, a lot of empty seats on airplanes. For the first time in recent memory, we're seeing the sudden availability of frequent flyer award tickets, and in many cases at lower redemption levels. Now, I'm not going to tell you this is going to extend for a long period of time. These are sort of like pop-up sales. Monitor your frequent flyer programs carefully, but there are some deals to be had right now.
Okay, excuse me on that sneeze right in the middle of the interview. Peter Greenberg, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it, as always.